Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a really lovely, and it's a very sought after car. This is the 1.6 SE Plus Navi Tourer, as you can see, or Estate. Finished in red, which looks absolutely fantastic on these cars. Facelift model, so first the facelift, which looks absolutely lovely as well. Cars cover just 69,000 miles. Very, very well looked after car. Go around the car for you. It's a bit cold, so slightly shaky hands this morning, I'm afraid. Front of the car, lights and lenses clear, intact without any cracks or condensation. Bonnet is very, very clean. If there's any stone chips, they are very light indeed. Near side of the car, I can't see any indentations in there at all. It's really clean in the flanks. Near side front alloy, generally the one takes all of the bashing, hardly a mark on there. And the remaining panels are lovely and clean. Likewise, near side rear alloy, very, very nice. Always like the, I think it's just one of the more interesting estate cars out there. You know, generally they look sort of boxy and utilitarian, but this has got some style about it. On the back again, all very clean. Off the side of the car again, no obvious indentations, really crisp and clean in the panels. Off side rear alloy, again absolutely lovely. The remaining panel work is very, very nice indeed. I mean, there will be the odd minor blemish, but in all honesty, it is very, very clean indeed for the age and the mileage of the car. Come to the boot area, absolutely cavernous, and Honda finished the interior beautifully, and this has been kept really, really nicely. Coming to the back, wide opening rear doors, and unlike so many Civics which are normally very heavily used and worn in the back, this has been kept really, really nicely. Coming to the front and the passenger side, again all very clean and tidy. Passenger seat there, not been given an awful lot of use. Coming on the driver's side now, again all very, very nice indeed. Footwell area is really clean. Likewise, driver's seat has been kept very, very well indeed. Inside the car now, engine's running as always to this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard just looks like new, and it's a really stunning design. Sat nav, you can see, working absolutely perfectly. Put the car into reverse, you've got that lovely clear gridded parking camera. And that supplements the front and rear parking sensors as well. And then to come back here, you get this view of this absolutely stunning dashboard. And that's how you should set your driving position, by the way. So the steering wheel is slap bang between the speedo and the top of the rev counter there. But it is absolutely amazing sitting in this car. Just come up here for you. Hopefully you can see 69,453 miles. And there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 SE Plus Navi, I think, from memory. Diesel Tourer. Car's registered FD65NHT, and mileage at the start of the road test is 69,454 miles. The reason we do these videos, and especially actually the road test section here, is to ensure that if anyone's actually online looking at the car in one of our adverts, they actually get to see the very car advertised in operation. We feel it's important because, like lots of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got an obvious fault that shows up, hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire, even on a murky day like today. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the reason being that we hope it'll then be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, these are really sought after cars. It's a brilliant car in every way. Starting with the engine, which starts instantly, by the way, and settles to smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle as well. The engine is an absolute peach of a diesel engine. Typical Honda 4-cylinder in the sense that it's incredibly strong and reliable over huge mileages with regular good maintenance. The cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts to worry about on them. But what's lovely about them is they are just a very nice engine to use day in, day out. They're smooth and quiet, especially at a cruise. But they're ridiculously economical, and the economy comes actually very easily to the car. Whoever had the car last has been averaging 66.9 miles per gallon, which is about exactly where I ordinarily would be with mine. And I've owned plenty of them. Doing shorter trips, I'd be low 60s, longer trips, mid 70s. So that's absolutely bang on. But it's not an engine you've got to kind of nurse completely. You've got little aids to help you. You've got a little sort of gear change prompter. You can put it into eco mode, so you can see the blue icons in front of me change to green as you drive, and that works very well. Saves you 1 or 2 miles per gallon. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect. Bike points exactly where it's meant to be. It's nice and smooth in its pedal actuation. The gear change is your classic Honda gearbox, absolutely brilliant. Honda put a huge amount of effort into ensuring that everything you touch, press, move, whatever in the car should have a satisfying engineered feel to it. And that's, all the pedals feel the same. They've got that slick operation, and the gear lever is case in point. It can be very easy for Honda, because it's cable operated as it is with most front wheel drive cars these days, to give you what a lot of manufacturers give you, which is a light, vague, just a gearbox you use rather than actually enjoy using. This has got a weighty mechanical feel to it, which they engineer in, and it's satisfying to use. So in changing gear, you feel as though you're moving something that is properly engineered. Absolutely superb, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new, by the way. Steering on the car tracks nice and straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limit actually. And the steering is fantastic. You go through corners like this one here, you basically just turn the steering wheel hardly at all. It's quite quick geared. It's positive, it's accurate, it's beautifully weighted, which makes it feel really confident on the road, whether no matter what sort of corners you're going into. And it works with the chassis brilliantly, because the chassis manages to do what is very hard to achieve. It gives you this wonderfully smooth, compliant ride, really well judged. But also, when you go through corners, it's keen, it's eager. It's a car that, people who enjoy their driving rather than just want to get from A to B really like these cars, because they have an athletic quality to them, which is sorely missing in lots of other manufacturers. Also, by the way, there's absolutely no sort of rattles, clonks, or anything coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there. The whole car just feels absolutely as tight as a drum, I have to say. But they generally do, unless they've been really abused. They generally feel incredibly solid, and this one is absolutely no different in that respect. I'm just going to get up to a bit of speed and give the brakes a bit of a shove. Charles directly behind me. It's a really nice, powerful brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for is good initial bite, which it definitely has, but also it shouldn't have any pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all, and there are none. Finally, coming inside the car, I am biased. I openly admit it, because I love this interior. I've owned numerous Civics because of this interior. It is what I think all good design should be, is polarizing in opinion. So you'll either like it or you don't. But what is unarguable is the fact that it works brilliantly. It's not just for show. The first thing you notice, especially big, sort of estate cars, can, with a few years on them, get a bit creaky and rattly where they've been sort of heavily used, or because it's a more open structure. Typical of Honda, there's no squeaks, no rattles. It's beautifully put together. Everything's working perfectly. Sat nav, as you can see, climate control with different temperatures side to side if you so wish, because it's dual zone. That pumps out lovely cold air, because we tried it in a nice warm workshop earlier on. But this dash display in front, I personally love, but it's there for a reason. It's a 2-tier design, or upper and lower decks. The upper deck is basically to give you information that you're going to look at most regularly, so hopefully it means you take your eyes off the road for far less time. So basically, up on the top left, you've got a information display panel, so you can have it displaying various pieces of information, sort of MPGs, trip meters, that kind of stuff. But also, if you were to change radio stations, or let's say change your fan speed here, get a nice big display up there rather than the smaller one down there. But the most commonly looked at gauge of all in any car, of course, is your speed. And there it is, all by itself, nice and simple to look at. You just don't have to take your eyes off the road, and that's the genius of it, which I absolutely love. Down below that, you've got more conventional pod of 3 dials, big rev counter, flanked by temperature and fuel gauges. And then we've got this lovely thick leather-bound steering wheel, which feels absolutely fantastic. The car's in lovely condition in here, really, really is, and it's just a really lovely place to sit and drive a car. That's the long and short of it. As I said at the start, the point of the video is actually to pick up any issues, of which you can find none at all. It drives absolutely beautifully.